What is going on? Please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. It's the 13th of November 2024. So, Donald Trump returns to the White House, shakes Joe Biden's hand. Still a mic check. Interesting, right? Let's see here. So, he returns to the White House. He shakes Joe Biden's hand. This is the main story for today. Trump tells Biden politics is tough as they hold historic White House meeting after his election victory. Politics is tough, the president-elect said. In many cases, it is not a nice world, but it is a nice world today. Donald Trump I can't believe I'm reading this, but I'm just going to read it. Donald Trump thanked President Joe Biden for ensuring a smooth transition and said politics is tough as they held a marathon 2-hour meeting at the White House after Republicans' stunning defeat of Kamala Harris. Biden 81 congratulated the president-elect and said, "Welcome back." When they sat down for what appeared to be amicable talks in the Oval Office, the meeting, which many have expected would be tense and awkward, started off cozily, with the two men seated before a roaring fire. Trump wore a red tie and Biden sported a maroon one. Some of the country's greatest presidents, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, and George Washington, stared down on them from portraits on the wall. In a short glimpse, the public got the atmosphere seemed cordial. With each man calling the other by their first name, they shook hands. Harris, Biden's vice president, Harris, Biden's vice president, who Trump defeated, was not present, nor was she mentioned. So they didn't mention Kamala, and she was not present. Biden was in the unusual position of greeting the man who both preceded him and will replace him in the White House. Trump won in the landslide November 5th, taking the popular vote and electoral college, and sweeping the 7 key swing states. "Well, Mr. President-elect Donald, congrats," Biden said. "I look forward to having a smooth transition." So I think, you called the man a threat to democracy. You called him a fascist. You compared him to Adolf Hitler. You know, this is why I wouldn't want to get into politics, man. You can't call me all these things and then I go shake your hand. I think Donald Trump in this situation is being the bigger person. I mean, he pretty much has to, because this is the transition of power. I think it's crazy that we're here. I think it's good for America that maybe they can put their differences aside now and the country can move forward. So I think that's a good thing. But you know, Kamala was not present. I wonder why she wasn't present. I know Jill Biden and Kamala Harris are at odds right now in the White House. Right? So they shook hands. I respect it. I respect it. I was at the gym and I seen this and I said, "Wow, I can't believe it's happening." So they lied and they said he was a threat to democracy. It was all lies so they could get votes and so they could win. Called him a fascist and on it goes. Donald Trump won, and so now here we are. So I think it's good for America. The two opposing sides can shake hands, maybe put aside their differences, and the country can move forward. It's okay to disagree with people. It's okay to disagree with people. So I think it's interesting. I was shocked to see it. I think Biden is a fan of Donald Trump because he wore a MAGA hat before. Biden put on a MAGA hat before. So I think he's a fan of Donald Trump. I do. So moving on, let me see if I can get you guys this clips here. And then I'll show you the clip of Kamala not really getting along with Jill Biden, his wife. Kamala, I'm surprised Kamala wasn't present. You would think Kamala would be present, right? But no, she wasn't present. So it's going to be interesting the reactions that Kamala and Donald Trump will have. Okay, so here's the clip here. It's really low. Hold on, let me turn it off. Yeah, it was crazy, right? Like they went wild today. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can. Here's the handshake. Interesting, right? Hey, man. I think it's. I think. Kudos to Biden. Biden. He actually was the bigger person. Okay, let's try this one. Donald Trump won, man. The next 4 years is going to be really crazy. Okay, let me show you Kamala, not and Jill Biden, not too happy with each other. Hold on, let's see. Okay, here's the clip here. All right, it says it's safe to say that Joe Biden hates Kamala Harris's guts. So let's take a look at this here. This went viral. So she looks upset. And it says Joe Biden is wearing the GOP shade of red to cast her vote. Joe Biden is skipping the Kamala Harris watch party. Do the math. Remember, Nancy Pelosi started a coup against Biden and removed Biden and installed Kamala, and she lost. They're thinking that if Biden would have won, if Biden would have stayed in the race, Biden probably could have won the election. Here's another clip of Kamala and Biden. She's stone faced, like she's not making no expressions. Crazy, right? What happened to the joy and vibes? What happened? Yeah, she looks stone faced, man, after the loss. Crazy, right? So they were saying that, if Biden would have stayed in the race, Biden possibly could have beat Donald Trump. Maybe. So here's Kamala and Jill Biden, not even looking at each other, or speaking at each other. Look, take a look at this.
Distinguished guests, Major General
Really unhappy with
Trevor J.
Kamala.
Brandenkamp, Commanding General of
Crazy. All right, and this is, That's why I said I think Joe Biden is a fan of Donald Trump. I mean, he did put a MAGA hat on, a Trump hat on. It says Jill Biden hates Kamala Harris with a passion. Take a look at this.
Distinguished guests, Major General
Stone
Trevor
face
J.
after the loss.
Brandenkamp, Commanding General.
Wild. I mean, there it is right there, right? Joe Biden gives Kamala Harris the cold shoulder after husband Joe was forced out of the race. The vice president lost to Trump. Take a look. That's the faces right now. Very unhappy. The Democrat Party is being destroyed. It is broken into 1,000 pieces and is now being scattered off into the wind. People said, you know what? I'm not voting Democrat no more. I'm going to start voting in my interest. What is Trump's policies? No open borders, no transgender surgeries for illegals. What does he have to offer? What does Donald Trump have to offer me? So people started to look at both policies. Joy and vibes is not going to get you over the finish line. Saying joy and vibes and get you is not going to get you over and then getting extreme feminists, extreme feminists to vote for women or getting women to vote for them. Like that's not paying celebrities, raising $1 billion and paying celebrities to speak your message. That's not going to work. And it clearly showed it did not work. All right. Joy and vibes. You lose. Look, this is on TikTok here. Looks like all the joy and vibes is gone. They're not speaking to each other. They're not looking at each other. It's wild, right? Okay, so right, this one says if looks could kill. She not talking to her. Look, she giving Kamala the cold shoulder for sure. Like, she doesn't even, like, this is what they do to me at the workplace. Right? Because I'm a strong black man. I think for myself, I'm self-sufficient. I don't believe lies. I'm not a sheep. I like to think for myself and then come up with my own conclusions. I don't go along with what the sheep do. I don't laugh at everybody's joke because everybody's laughing. If it's not funny, I'm not going to laugh. I think, like, I work with a bunch of loser sheep. You get what I'm saying? And so this is what they do to me. They give me the cold shoulder because I don't agree with them. Because I think for myself, because I can do things on my own without asking them for help. That's what they do to me at work. But I just keep trucking along. Basically, it's discrimination. And I'm just talking about in my little personal thing. It's like discrimination. It's the same thing. Right? Like, when I come into the work, they do this to me. What they're doing to Kamala is what they do to me in the workplace. Who am I surrounded by in the workplace? White people, Indian females, poop jeets of the world. I'm surrounded by white people, poop jeets of the world, and just mindless, brainless drones. I'm surrounded by mindless, brainless drones. I'm not a mindless, brainless drone. I'm not a weirdo. I'm not a clown. I stand on my own principles. But this is because I'm just looking at it. I'm like, oh, this is what they do to me. They give me the cold shoulder at the workplace. That's exactly what they do. Because you think for yourself. Or you're thinking outside the box. While they're sheep, NPC drones, well, they think inside the box. They all think collectively. Right? So that's what they do, right? They give you the culture. They don't speak to you. They don't even look at you. They don't acknowledge you. They don't wave to you. They don't say hello to you. They don't say good morning to you. That's what they do. They give you the cold shoulder. They're intimidated by strong. They're intimidated by a strong man. They're intimidated by someone that knows what math is. Knows 2 + 2 = 4. Right? Can write with their right hand. Can write with their left hand. Walk with a confidence. Don't walk looking at the ground. Right? Don't judge someone based on the color of their skin, but on the merits and the content of the character. I'm just giving you guys an example. This is exactly what they do to me at the workplace. Exactly the same thing. It's like this, right? It's like Doug, her husband, and Kamala are talking, smiling, whatever. And then, so it's like, it's like the inversion. Like I would be, how would I describe it? So like, this is how they are, right? Like you're on an island by yourself pretty much, right? Everybody's talking and whatever, and you're off on an island because they don't know how to have conversations with you, based not in on work. Like I'm not gonna go into a workplace, punch in, and talk about work for 12 hours. I just don't believe in doing that. I want to talk about women. I want to talk about sports. I want to talk about working out. I want to talk about healthy lifestyle systems. I want to talk about right and wrong. I want to talk about different things. I don't want to talk about work 24 for 12 hours straight. That's ridiculous. I'm confident in my abilities to just do the job, but they're not confident in their abilities. They're non-confident. They're NPC drones. I don't respect them. I never will. And eventually, because the economy is probably going to open up, I will be finding something different soon. Soon. Very soon. But that's what they do to me at the workplace, you know? People, you got to understand, people are not going to admit that they're racist. People are not going to admit that they're discriminatory. People are not going to admit that they're hateful. It's the inversion of that. They're not going to admit it, but they are that. No, I digress. Just want to put that out there. But yeah, she gave her the cold shoulder. Like I don't like for example, like when I wake up in the morning, I don't live for people's validation of me. That is really insane. There is a bunch of people that live for the validation of others. Because somebody thinks or does something, you have to do it too. But if you think outside the box and do something different, you know what I'm saying? They exclude you from the program. They exclude you from what's going on. I'm not stupid, I know. That's why I don't respect them. I never will. And if it was outside somewhere, they definitely wouldn't act like that. Right? Because when they're in a controlled environment, they can't show what their true colors are. You know what I'm saying? I have birthright citizenship. Some of them don't even have birthright citizenship. Can't even speak English properly. Don't even like Canada. Live in Canada, but don't like Canada. What you here for if you don't like Canada? Anyway, I digress. Like, what are you in America for if you don't like America? It makes no sense. Right? You're anti-American. You're anti-Canadian. Right? There's anti-Canadians, there's anti-man, there's anti-Americans. I'm not stupid, I know. But anyway, it's all good. That's why I'll just get stronger, smarter, wiser, more confident. That's all I'll do. But yeah, I don't live for people's validation. That's ridiculous. Oh, look, it's a meme. Look, F you, Trump won. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I digress. But yeah, that's what it looks like. Right? She's like Kamala's smiling in the right. They're not even looking at each other and speaking to each other. It's the cold shoulder. Guys, this happens in the workplace. My workplace. But it happens. Right? It's not nothing surprising. I just don't live for people's validation in a workplace outside of work. I can just do my own thing. I have two legs, two arms, two hands, and I have a brain that works. I have a brain that works. Okay, I already played that one. Okay, so I digress on that. All right, so what do we got going on now? So I showed you that. Let me see. There's some articles with the Toronto Star. So we know the food bank, right? Let me see. Toronto Star? Is it? Yeah, once I realize who these people are, it's easy. I just navigate through you. I just navigate around you. That's all. I'm not gonna. No. I'm just gonna navigate around you. You need people's validation. That's how you live your life. Good for you. Have fun. I don't need it. I don't care for it. No, absolutely not. Oh, I need the validation from others at a workplace. Yeah, I don't think so. That's not how it works. Sorry. No, I digress. There's the call-in line if you want to call in. But anyway, here we go. Big jump in number of Toronto area residents who say they can't make ends meet, report says. That's what it is. So people that actually can make ends meet, people that actually can think with outside the box and come up with other ideas and solutions and actually have a conversation not based on race, skin color, and gender, those people can't make ends meet. Not all, but some. Toronto Foundation research paints a picture of economic growth, but increasing hardship in a divided city. Now you got some tents outside City Hall in Toronto. And so Toronto is an increasingly divided city, according to a new report which finds that many people are struggling. Remember all the times I come on the app, in Toronto area, and I says everything all good. Okay, because you live in delusion. You don't live in the real world. You don't live in real life. And so those people that don't live in real life, they can't come around me, dog. Like, no. Go and live in your fallacy. No, absolutely not. Struggling financially and mentally, despite significant economic growth. So they're struggling financially and mentally. So what they want to do is point the fingers at others on the reasons why they're struggling in this country. It's crazy. Toronto Foundation's Vital Signs Round Up on Growth report released Wednesday paints a picture of a city that is rapidly growing but also leaving many people behind. More Torontonians are feeling financially vulnerable, which is having an impact on their physical and mental health. So what did I do? I go to the gym, I be the best version of myself, but they don't want to hear somebody's objective truth. They don't want to hear they don't want to hear from somebody else speaking, somebody else's ideas. So what they rather do is physically and mentally deteriorate. Okay. You have choices in life, right? There is a cascading effect on the city's most vulnerable. The agencies that serve them and people's capacity to help. Shelters are turning away more unhoused folks and nonprofits are stretched thin. But economic anxiety is being felt more widely overall, with more people experiencing food insecurity and fewer Torontonians making charitable donations. People are trying to reach out for help, but they're not finding it. These vulnerabilities are not going away, and our social safety net is not keeping up. According to, right, when you have anti-man culture, when you have, you know what I'm saying, you can't take them seriously when it comes to dating. This is women. Then you have weak men. This is the problem. According to the report, 40% of Torontonians say their household income is not enough to make ends meet, up from 31% last year, which represents an increase of nearly 700,000 residents across the census metropolitan area. About half of Toronto tax fillers earn less than $38,500 annually, according to the report. It's believed the sense of economic insecurity is contributing to more people experiencing mental health challenges. About 1 in 4 adults reported least moderate symptoms of depression in 2024, with 1 in 5 reported feelings of anxiety. You think you're going to wake up in the morning and just look at a screen and not talk to anyone? Just go wake up, look at a phone? This is why they're high on, they have highest levels of anxiety and depression. You have to talk to people, man. These numbers have been consistent since 2021, suggesting lingering impacts of the pandemic. An inability for many Torontonians to access primary care could also be a factor. The report says more than 500,000 Torontonians don't have a family doctor. And then it goes on. It says the Toronto Foundation's findings come after their research last year determined Toronto is one of the loneliest places in Canada. Last year's report also found that residents are interacting and volunteering less and have fewer friends and fewer close relationships with family members. Oh man, the economic problems in this country is really crazy. Tuesday, the Angus Reid Institute released data showing that 36% of Canadians surveyed described their emotional state as not happy, which is double what we seen in 2015. So there are signs of prosperity with retail sales 70% higher. I mean, yeah, you can have materialism and just keep buying stuff. It's not going to make you happy. Looking at a screen is not going to make you happy. But anyway, this is this article here. It said community-based organizations are seeing unprecedented demand for services and persistent declines in donations. People are not donating as much. Meanwhile, 84% said they're experiencing staffing and or volunteering challenges, and half has scaled back programs. So they're scaling back programs. They can't find staff. They can't find people to volunteer their time, and they're not donating. Fewer Torontonians are giving back, which the Toronto Foundation says is part of a long-term trend. 2022, fewer than 1 in 5 people who file their taxes claim a donation. Right? So, chicken's coming home to roost. You can ignore it, but that's how Trump won, because people chose to ignore it. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Much better, much better. Okay, so you got that article. What's the next one? Okay, personal. Oh, here's another one for to put on my channel. Oh, they're making you pay for it. Oh man, let's try it again. Yeah, they're gonna make you pay for it. But they say the insolvencies. People can't pay their bills, man, in this country. That's why they're upset and they point the fingers. Upset and point the fingers. Oh, let's go back for a second. Okay, I just wanted to look at something there. New Lord takes a boot. Planning to run away. People are experiencing crippling traffic. Friday night, what Swift is performing. Didn't realize Billy Bishop. Okay. Yeah, like Taylor Swift is coming to Toronto. I'm not going. Why would I go spend $4,500 to go see a woman that gets things wrong? No. You know, you can watch it at home. Like, I'm not giving her my hard-earned money. Like, it's a celebrity. Who cares? These guys don't get it. They never will get it. So let them go waste their money. Okay, I don't know what that is. Robert F. Kennedy. STO. I can't remember what I was gonna do. Canada. All right. Yeah, here it is here, but I can't. Personal insolvencies jumped 14%, with one half of Canadians now living paycheck to paycheck. There you have it. I mean, we know that, right? Trump's appointees have criticized Trudeau, Canada's border security. Oh. What do we have here? Okay, so let's go to X. Yeah, so man, listen, man. That's why people are more selfish today. Yeah, so it says The View tells its audience to skip holiday gatherings with families because Trump won. These people are unwell. I mean, it's Don Lemon is quitting X after 16 years. So Don Lemon's quitting X platform. Here you go.
Hi, everyone. I have loved connecting with all of you on Twitter and then on X for all of these years.
Quitting
But it's
X.
time for me to leave the platform. I once believed that it was a place for honest debate and discussion, transparency and free speech. but I now feel it does not serve that purpose. In addition, starting this Friday, November 15th, X is implementing new terms of service, which, among other things, states that, quote, all disputes
He'll
be
be
brought
back.
exclusively in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas or state courts located in Tarrant County, Texas, end quote. The full terms of service can be found on my written statement or on the X website.
He'll be back. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so Pierre Poilievre posted this. It said disgraceful. Let's click on this thread. He said a high school principal tried to justify playing protest song at a Remembrance Day ceremony, demeaning and devaluing the service of women and men who died defending our country's freedom. He should be fired now. Absolutely. They should fire that person. Parents shocked after Palestinian protest song used in school Remembrance Day service. The song Haza Salam became a popular anthem among the anti-Israel activists after last year's Hamas terror attack. Right? So there's that article. She said, maybe we might stream that up, maybe. Let me just take a look at it and see what we got. Yeah, it's disgraceful, absolutely. But they don't give a shit, man. No, they don't care. Hold on, let me see what the guy's name is first. Is there any names? No, I don't think there's any names here. Let's click on this here. Oh. Yeah, I don't think there's any names here. It's just a quick thread. Right? But that's what it is. I mean, they disrespect, man. They propagandize and disrespect. We know that. Yeah, you know, I don't care about what Trudeau's doing right now. It says, turned it on. Maddow has an on-air meltdown over Trump announcement. Really? Rachel Maddow loses it over possible cabinet picks. Is there a clip here? Okay, let me see if I can find the clip here. They lost their marbles, man. They lost their mind. Let's see if there's a clip here. Oh. I don't know. I think this is it here.
But let me also point out something more strange, which has been happening at the same time and it hasn't had as much attention. The day before Trump made those remarks on Friday, he said, you're never going to have to vote again after you vote for me this one time. The day before that, on Thursday last week, he didn't say that people wouldn't have to vote anymore once he was elected this November. No, the day before that, on Thursday, he told his supporters, not that they're not going to have to vote again, but that they don't have to vote this time. That they don't need to vote for him.
Oh, man. It's so crackpotish. So crackpotish. Okay, so I think that's it for now. But yeah, Donald Trump is back.